You know, before it would rain here, I guess the land that we're on is mostly clay. So when people would get mud in their feet, it was really hard to kind of get it out of them. So we used to wear bags in our shoes. And right now you can see a little bit of gravel, but if you keep going more this way, you can see how the dirt is around us. So once that dirt gets wet, it creates about 3 to 4 inches of clay on your shoes. Cars would get stuck, so even when public transportation wouldn't come in here, because now they do thanks to the asphalt, we had to go out into the exits, maybe like 4 minutes driving.
You can't talk about environmental justice if you don't talk about the lack of safe public spaces, and you can't talk about environmental justice if you also leave out farm workers' rights.
I think we start with a recognition of what really a healthy community looks like. There are vulnerable populations that are being left out of environmental protections, and our health is a result of what is surrounding us.
The Salton Sea, that's one example. That's one of the things that comes up for many people, but also the pesticides around it, the agricultural fields in around our community, the waste facilities, and the location in which they're placed is usually within low-income communities. And also the actions needed by the community to either alleviate some of those environmental factors, such as the pollution out right next to our schools, right next to our employment, and what are the steps needed to make changes in our community.
When we talk about the environment, we're talking about much more than only the natural environment. And I think when people realize that, we probably are moving a lot closer to being able to find solutions.
Having the pavement now has really opened a lot of recreational activities. Before we had to go all the way to Mecca, and sometimes transportation was an issue. So now we actually have the opportunity to go out here, skateboard, go bicycling, so actually enjoy our surroundings a little bit more.
There's still being community gatherings being hosted towards the development of this park. So I think just even having those moments to spend within your community and to work together, it allows room for dialogue and conversation. So I think that's always a positive in terms of health. Because I mean, we are the ones that live here. We are the experts firsthand about what we're lacking, about what we need. We're the ones that know our realities, and we're the ones that do have the solutions. So I think when I see a team of community members coming together to address those issues, that's when I see movement towards tackling issues in environmental justice.
Support for the Other Side of Coachella series on KVCR comes from the California Endowment, promoting a positive economic environment for underserved individuals and communities, and promoting fundamental improvements in health status of all Californians. More information at calendow.org.